Hello, and welcome to the HEALcast. I am Bobby, joined by my awesome co host Morgan. Morgan, say hey.
Hi.
And we are joined this week by my good friend, Greg O'Connor. Greg, what is up?
Oh, how you doing, Bob? I'm having a great time. Can't wait.
I'm living the dream, Greg, as you know.
Bob,
Greg,
you
are
always
you
do.
are you a big YouTube watcher? Because you did the peace signs. Like, are you ready for your big debut on YouTube, or do you listen on Spotify?
I'm a Spotify guy,
I
but
gotcha.
I kind of just made peace signs my thing.
Yeah,
So it's just like whenever I'm introduced or talking to someone, I'll just be like, peace
it has
signs.
to be your brand. Yeah, you have
Yeah,
to stay
it's
on your
I
brand.
feel like
it's kind
peace
of like my
signs
thing.
are like a really big thing in Asia. They like do them all the time. I know that was so like out of right field, but like in Asia they do a lot of peace signs.
I feel like I kind of pride myself on like the one hand peace sign. Like that kind of came about in maybe like first or second grade, but like I never let it go. Like if
Yeah.
someone were like, I'd be like
Yeah,
duck
like
face
like,
peace
like a
sign.
little gang single. Thing.
Yeah, like I don't know if that's like the duck face is like the jersey coming out in me, or like I'm ready to like fist bump. I don't know, but like yeah,
Speaking
if
of the
you're
jersey
watching on
coming out of
YouTube,
you, you're back in Jersey now.
I
yeah.
was gonna
So
say I started the peace signs because over quarantine I was watching Iron Man, and
mm,
there's the one scene where he's like, "I just privatized world peace," and he's just like, boom.
yes, that's
And I
it.
was like, all
And
right, that's
then
pretty
like
cool. I
flashed
should
up.
start. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, I should start doing that.
Yeah.
Sick. All
Did
right.
you watch a lot of Marvel movies over quarantine?
Yeah, there was one weekend that I dedicated to watching them all. I watched like
In one
eight.
weekend?
Yeah, I watched like eight on Thursday, nine on Friday, and then eight on Saturday.
So you like didn't move but also didn't sleep.
Correct.
Got it.
I respect it.
Sounds
Yeah.
about like quarantine.
It
Was
sounds
that
like
Yeah.
my
like
life.
April, or are we talking like March?
It was 2 weeks before finals. So it wasn't like the weekend before finals. It
You're
Because
was
then
the
still in
you would
weekend
have
school.
before
been
that.
studying. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Yikes.
pass fail is a wonderful thing.
That's true.
Uh,
Hey, this semester pass fail is a wonderful thing.
That is, I'm surprised that came back. I was really
So
surprised.
was I, but I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
It's a very welcome surprise.
Yeah. I think that'll be in the line dance now that we say it.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
Because
Little
basically, yeah, last semester, this semester, I wonder if next semester they'll do it really until we go back in person. I don't know.
little teaser to the end of the episode.
Yeah. I
Oh,
just,
we love the last two questions.
Oh, of course.
oh, he's ready.
Sign of a true
Purple.
listener. Just a fan of the pod, let me tell you.
He knows. He knows. I take us so long to get you here, man. All right. Well, Greg, without further ado, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. I'm a sophomore. I'm studying chemical engineering, doing my best, but that's not why we're here. Um, joined Heal last year as a freshman. Um, got involved, got to know a lot of people. This year, I'm also on a dancer relations committee, which is a ton of fun. But I'm just very excited to see what happens this year and moving forward.
Awesome.
Cool. So, can you tell us how you got involved in Heal?
Yeah, it was actually a funny story because Bob and I, we go way back,
Way,
like
way back
way back to like freshman year of
of
high
high
school.
school. Yeah.
But we were hanging out at like we're friends, and
We do that. We do
he's like,
hang out.
yeah, back when it was like
Legal.
you could socially, you didn't have to social distance or wear masks, and
Back in my day,
Back in what, like
yeah,
2019?
I
oh,
remember when.
back
I
back in
remember.
last decade,
Yeah.
but we'd be hanging out, and there were four of us or so that were going to be freshmen, and Bob was like, "Listen, you guys, I don't care what you do at Penn State, but you're joining this Thon org." And I was like, "All right, cool." Like I wanted to get involved in Thon, so perfect. And then it came down to the involvement fair freshman year, fall, and I'm walking around, and um, I see the Thon org section. I walk by, and I start talking to this guy, and he's telling me about this org. I'm really excited. I'm like, oh, this sounds like the place I want to be. It has a real nice family atmosphere. I'm like, that's what I want to do. I get back to my room. My roommate, who was also friends with us from back home, says, "Oh, did you join? Did you talk to the people from Bob's Dawn, Oregon?" I was like, "Oh, I completely forgot that like I was supposed to do that." But then we both pulled out the like handouts that we got. It was the same one, so I think it was just destiny for me to join Heal.
Mind blown, right?
It was meant to be.
It was meant to be.
That's a
And who
plot
did you
twist.
talk to? Do you know?
I think I talked to Ethan.
Okay.
What a
My
pleasure
guess
Either
that
Ethan
was.
or Brett.
Okay. Yep, both sound right.
Well, I think it was Brett that got me like, whoa, I should like pay attention to what's going on over here. But then I talked to Ethan
Mm-hmm.
and then joined.
Boom.
Brett's definitely good at grabbing attention. Um,
Yeah.
I'll give him that one.
Yeah, well, he's the MC of Homecoming.
Back
Yeah.
to back.
Back to
MC.
back.
Yeah, back to back. Well, we'll have to have him on the pod sometime soon too.
True. I like calling it the pod.
Oh,
Yeah. What's the HEALcast? It's just the pod now.
We do
Yeah.
duck face,
Pod.
pod, peace
it's
signs,
pod racing.
pod. Now this is pod racing.
Okay. So I was told this past week that I don't have as good of a podcasting voice as Bobby, so I'm going to let him take the next question.
Oh yeah, that's true. Ryan was really cooking you.
I
I've-
heard
Morgan, you have a
got-
great podcasting voice.
I've heard great things about my podcasting voice.
Yeah,
I think
you
Morgan
have a
sounds
good
great.
one. I just sound like I'm talking normally, and you sound like you're announcing a concert.
It's
Or-
because
We'll
I
just say
am.
It's because of Bob's mic.
It is. I spend too much money on this.
You should announce Penn State football games when you get older.
I announced high school football games back in the day, when I was a young tyke.
Back in my day.
Back in my day, back
That
last
was a whole decade ago.
last decade, you know.
Wow.
Now that we've covered that one. So, Greg, you joined Heal last year in the fall. That means you were with Heal for a whole year and went through a thon with Heal in the stands.
Yes.
What was that like in our
Well,
stands?
let me just start off by saying our fun weekend chair last year was just incredible.
I
Like,
agree.
Shannon, just
Shannon
incredible human
killed
being.
it. Absolutely destroyed it.
And Bob was there too.
Oh yeah, there was some.
I was there.
Yeah.
There was some
there was
other
another
fool
kid.
in his swim trunks.
Yeah.
And his lifeguard shirt.
Yeah.
But it was one of those where my family is a Penn State family. Mom, dad, two brothers. But for some reason, I've never like been at a thon. Like I've walked into the BJC, but it was like I walked in for 5 minutes and just had no idea like what to do, and then like we left. But it's one of those after forming the relationships with like the dancers and just my friends in the stands and the Tuckies and getting to know the Hesses. It was one of those where we started to realize like what we were really doing there, and it was just inspiring, and just being able to spend time with everyone in that building that was looking out for the same reason. It was just an electric factory.
How do you
Electric
think?
Factory.
How do you think what Thon was like was different than what you were expecting? Because like we talk about Thon weekend and meetings and stuff, and I feel like I remember just being like, this is nothing like, and it was completely exceeded my expectations. Like, this is nothing like what I thought. How did it kind of change for you from what you were expecting?
I was gonna say it seemed like, not that it was like a party for 2 days straight, but just all the different acts they had going. The jump rope girls,
They're sick.
Shout out Jump Out
Oh,
Girls. Dude, they're
Yeah.
shout
nuts.
out jump rope girls. Like they're incredible. But just all the stuff, the live music, just the games they had going in the stands, all the different activities. It was one of those, time just went by and you didn't even notice because there was always something new to do. There was always someone new to talk to, something just to interact with or to see that it just you weren't expecting.
That's a great point. I feel like my last thon's like I roll up and it's 6 o'clock Friday and I danced 3 songs and suddenly it's 6 o'clock Saturday morning and I'm like, where'd the last 12 hours go? So time flies in there. It's crazy.
Like I remember going up onto like the concourse to get something to eat on what I thought was like Saturday night. I walk up and it's light outside and they're serving like breakfast sandwiches.
So you lost track of time even with a phone.
Well,
It
well,
happens to the best of us.
I changed the time on my phone.
Oh, you did? No, I was
Yeah, I
not
was
saying that to be a jerk. I was just like, you actually.
I was like,
that
come
came
on,
off-
Morgan, they
So
promoted
you
that.
didn't even know how to read your phone anymore.
Yeah, wow, dude,
Yeah,
you
my
were totally
vision was
messed
just
up.
gone.
Wait, so you changed the time on your phone? That's actually like kind of a veteran move. I commend.
And not only that, I would just at random points be like, all right, I'm just going to close my eyes and just scroll through the time. So it just puts it on a random time so that it's not one of those where I kind of get used to what the time is on my phone. So I still have no idea.
What a
Which-
luxury. I wish
Yeah.
I wish I could have just thrown my phone to the wind.
See, that's what happens when you don't have responsibilities.
Yeah, I
They
was gonna
think-
say I was kind of I needed to be on it, but
Well, you're
Yeah.
preparing yourself to be a really good DRCM because you'll
True.
probably have to do that multiple times.
Yeah.
How is that? We'll go back to Thon Weekend in a little bit, but how has DR changed this year? I mean, I guess you weren't. Were you on DR last year? Were you
No,
on,
I wasn't.
so how was like what are they saying to you now? Because obviously we know Thon's gonna look different. Like, has it kind of changed what they're telling you to prepare?
Basically, the stuff they're telling us now is not that they're acting like everything's normal, but since they still have no idea what it's going to look like, they're just talking like, all right, this is how you should help your dancers stretch. Like, if a dancer is doing this, if this situation comes up, this is how you react and do all this. So it's kind of just, they're not treating it as if it's the same, but since we just have no idea what's going on, that's what we're going with.
Yeah, and I'm sure whatever they're telling you and stuff can be adapted to a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like, you're still gonna have to help a dancer stretch. Hopefully, you're in person and not on like an online feed or something. That would.
Yeah.
you're leading them through the Zoom call. All right, reach down, touch your toes.
Oh my gosh! And
Catch
like,
me
what
running
about?
down Beaver,
Yeah, right.
knocking on someone's door. All right, time to stretch.
Yeah, seriously.
At 3 a.m. on a Saturday.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be. I don't even know because like, I feel like when a dancer is like 36 hours in, or even 30 hours in, or 20 for that sake, like they're a liability at some
Oh
point.
my
Like,
gosh,
they're
100%.
so tired, and like they physically sometimes need someone there to like help them stretch. You know what I mean? Or like,
Yeah.
okay, like let's try doing something. Like, I know you don't remember what's going on right now, but like let's try. You know, and that's all normal things for being that sleep deprived. So I just wonder what it'll even look like, because like you guys are almost there too as like liability insurance. I don't even know, like to make sure that. And I mean that in like the least harmful, the least bad way, but it's just the reality of like they physically need someone. Like, I remember last year at hour like 40 saying goodbye to my dancers, handing them off to my co CM and being like, they're struggling. Hopefully they, you know what I mean? Like, that's just how it goes.
And they might die, but
No,
they're almost
Yeah.
there.
But it's
obviously
all
we're
for the
gonna take
kids.
care of them. There's plenty of medical staff and everything.
Yeah.
No one would let that happen. But like in reality, like they need someone.
Yeah. And like that's what DRCMs are there for.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why you prepare a whole year for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess we'll see. How's it been like bonding and stuff with your committee this year?
It's been weird. Like there's like we have our Zoom meetings,
Okay.
but you still don't get like the get to know people. Like we have our weekly lunch dates, but those are all just, oh, let's all hop on a Zoom call and just talk for like 15 minutes or
Gotcha.
20 minutes or however long it is. So you kind of get to know people, but it's definitely not as convenient as if we could just like go to a spot and just
Eat
be
lunch.
there in person and interact. Yeah, eat lunch or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I
No, it's
gotcha.
definitely a difficult year. It's tough to bond when you can't like talk to people in person. We take so much
Yeah.
for granted on that, and you don't realize until you can't. But it'll come
It's
back
like just
eventually. We'll
one
be
of
fine.
those. Yeah, eventually. It's one of those when,
This is
Next decade,
uh,
right?
yeah, next decade.
Yeah.
yeah, the
I
theme
couldn't
of
do
this
10 years of
podcast.
this. I'd give up.
Oh my gosh, I think everyone would.
I'd lock myself in my room and be like, all right, 9 years. I can do it, guys.
I feel
Take
like
along
the
now.
theme of this podcast is every week we go down like a corona spiral and then we like come out and we're like, but it'll be fine sometime. We just don't know when
Yeah,
yet.
we're all just so depressed about it.
And moving on.
So you I think you knew Lex and Liz before on weekend last year, but you guys obviously got closer. Did you guys not know each other at all?
I didn't know them at all.
Okay, so like you had been at the same meetings, but like maybe just like never even really like realized.
It was one of those where I was hanging out with Noah, and somehow Noah knew either Lex, Liz, Peyton, or Sid, and I was just hanging out with them. And then all of a sudden, after a couple hours, Noah left to go with his business frat. So I was still hanging out with them, and I ended up hanging out with them like all of Thon, and even like Final Four. I'm standing next to Lex, bawling my eyes out as like my head on her shoulder, her head on mine, while we're just bawling our eyes out. And it's like, wait, a day and a half ago, I didn't even know you, and now we're here. It's just, honestly, it's just a bond only Thon can give you.
I feel like you'll always remember the people you stand by at Final Four.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember who I stood next to last year.
I know who I stood next to last year.
Did
I
you
was
stand
doing
next to
the
each
same
other?
thing. Yeah, I was doing the same thing that you were with Lex, with Bobby. We were
Yeah.
both just bawling. I'm like,
We're both just sobbing.
so amazing. Yeah.
Do you remember who you stood by freshman year, Morgan?
I
Sorry
know
to
I
put
was
you on
with Carmen
blast.
on one
Yeah.
side.
Hey, you'll always remember who you stood by for Final Four. Okay, Bob.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. I
Well, the people who are in heel our freshman year are no longer in heel because you always stand next to your grade.
correct.
Yeah.
But
So
I don't
I-
even know if that person's still in heel.
I stood. I think. Okay, I could be wrong here. I either stood on the end, and I know one person next to me was Tommy. She is no longer in heel. I don't know where you went, Tommy. If you're listening, come back. You were cool. We were friends. I cried on your shoulder. And then I think on the other side was Sarah Holden, who is also not in heel. She's coming back, guaranteed. She's coming back.
She's actually listening right now, and
She could be.
after hearing this,
Hey,
she'll be
Sarah.
inspired.
I matched with her on Tinder and I said come back, and she said okay. So it's basically confirmed.
That's confirmed. Breaking news.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't think. Do you think that there is a single dry eye in the final four of Thon?
I honestly think if you don't cry, you don't have a heart.
I could see dancers like not crying because they just like
Yeah.
No,
they're
feel
cried
like
out.
dancers usually do though because I don't. You're
They
right
have
though.
no emotional strength
It,
left.
you're
to
just like
even-
so exhausted emotionally, physically. You've been crying the whole time. I mean, if you're dehydrated, like that's even worse. Like you're just not crying.
Yeah. I was
You
actually
ever
told
cry?
by
Sorry, go ahead.
I was told by Natalie, who was standing on the other side of me, that the reason she started crying was because of how hard I was crying.
Wow, Greg, you made Natalie cry. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You jerk.
You monster.
Do you
I'm
ever
just a
cry?
terrible person.
Do you ever cry so hard in Final Four that you get a headache? I think from the dehydration because
I-
it happens to me every year.
Yes. I don't know if
Like,
it's a
I don't know if
dehydration or if
coming
it's
down from the sound of everything at Thon, and then you walk outside, but it's like a ringing in my ears, and then just a pounding headache every year, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. The post Thon headache hits different.
true. I don't know.
Also-
It's like the sleep deprivation with the sobbing.
Yeah,
It just
that
gets you.
too, yeah.
The post-thon sleep hits
Oh,
different.
How long was it, Greg? How long did you sleep?
So I got back at like 4:30. I got something to eat, took a shower,
walk right to East. Okay.
Yeah, you
and
got that
then
quick.
yeah, because I lived in East, so it was
Yeah, so you
literally
got
just it ends and we dip.
Yeah.
And well, my dad texted me and he was like, "Oh, did you see? Like, here's the total." And I was like, "Dad, I was there. Like, there's a reason I haven't texted you all weekend. It's because I've been standing there."
I've been sitting.
And no, I
No,
didn't sit. I didn't sit.
never.
I was standing. And he was like, "Oh, like, how was it? Like, trying to have this conversation." I was like, "Dad, listen, I've been up for the last 25 hours. I need to sleep."
Yeah, you do.
I walk into my dorm room. My roommate gives me a high five. I flop onto my bed because he went out to just fill up his water bottle. He said he leaves the room. I flop on my bed. By the time he came back, I was passed out.
With like your
Slept.
suits on and all.
Slept. Yeah, I was in the same.
Like
Well,
your
I
clothes.
showered, so I changed clothes, but
Okay.
it was like I slept from I think 5 until 7:30. When, being the good student I am, I woke up, made it to my 8 a.m. chem class.
Wow, that's impressive that you made it to your 8 a.m.
Yeah, it was one of those. I woke up, and after sleeping for 14 and a half hours,
You're ready to go.
my head, because like our beds were high,
Mm.
I wake up, in my head, I'm like, yeah, I am ready to take on the day. I am energized. Feet hit the floor, and they almost just gave out because they were so sore.
Yep.
But I still made it. Well, I went to chem and then was like, this was a terrible idea. As soon as it was done, just went back to my dorm room and slept.
Yep. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
So two things. My number one suggestion when you get home from Thon is to grab a tennis ball or something and roll your feet out before you go to bed. Like shower and then roll your feet out. And I will like you'll wake up and your feet will not feel amazing, but they'll feel significantly better. Like I swear that was like a really good trick that I figured out. And two, did you eat anything? I feel like the after-thon meal is like the biggest thing. Like I remember eating so much food.
It was weird. It was like I was so hungry that I went to the Commons, picked up a sub, fully expecting to just devour the thing. But after like 4 bites, I was like,
Done.
I don't know if I was too tired or my body was just not receptive to food. But I was like, I don't think I can eat this right now. So I just like put it on my desk, woke up, and I think I ate it walking to chem and just destroyed it.
That's awesome. Okay, Bobby, what's your go-to post-thon meal?
I'm so glad you asked because I was gonna say it. After Thon, both years I got wings over,
Ooh.
Oh,
and it slapped
What do
so
you
good.
get from wings over? Do you get a dry rub or like a sauce?
I think I just got like buffalo, or it's cruising altitude is the name of the sauce.
Do you
Um,
get wing or bones or boneless?
Boneless. We go tendies.
Boneless.
It's
Okay.
real tendy hour.
I feel like after Thon, I wouldn't be able to mentally deconstruct my wing and not eat the whole
No,
wing.
I would just bite on the
I
bone and
just
Tender.
put it in and just chomp it and
Yep.
crunch the
Just
bone. and be
swallow
like,
it whole.
It's too
Yeah.
much effort to get it out and then just yeah.
My post thought, I don't know. Last year, I know that Shannon and I cleaned up the section, so we were like the last ones out. And Nora gave me a ride home, and somewhere along the way, I like cut my leg, and didn't realize it, and I got into the back of Nora's car,
Be like
and
gushing blood.
it was listen, all I know is that there was really bad traffic getting out of that parking lot. We sat there for an hour, and I like actually from at 5 o'clock, I think 5:15 we probably pulled out, but like I was fighting so hard falling asleep because I didn't want to fall asleep with her sitting there because I felt so bad. So like I definitely nodded off, and I like came to, and I looked down, and I had like bled all over the back of her seat, and it was bad. I was like, oops. But she dropped me off at home. I crawled into bed, and I think I slept 16 hours. So I think I went to bed around like 6:30, 7 o'clock. I didn't shower. I just crawled into bed and slept. I
Oh.
wasn't having it.
Oh, you
Yeah,
got
I
in
know.
your
With
bed all
with my
sweaty.
with my cut leg,
Yeah.
Your cut leg, you're just sweaty.
I was disgusting. That was
BJC germ.
I was a COVID-19 molecule just sitting there
Yeah.
waiting to infect the world. But yeah, I crawled into bed. Luckily, I've never had a class on a Monday spring semester that's earlier than 5 p.m. So knock on wood that continues. I think I broke that
You
for next
schedule?
semester. But
Didn't you schedule already? You
I
probably
did. I'm pretty sure I scheduled a noon class
Oh,
on
you'll
Monday,
be
Wednesday,
okay.
Friday. So I think I'll still be all right. I might just skip it.
Um. So no one asked, but I'm going to
Oh,
tell.
I ask.
My
Well, tell
freshman
me.
year. Okay, my freshman year, we went home. It's me and Carmen. I feel like it's always assumed it's me and Carmen. And
Who's Carmen?
yeah, exactly.
Your other
And
half.
I got and I got like a microwavable pasta meal from the Commons. I've never eaten one since, but it was so good. It was like grilled chicken, broccoli, and pasta, but I was like, that's not enough. So
No,
when I
that's
bought
microwave
that,
grilled chicken.
We
yes.
take those.
So I bought that, walked out, and I was like, this isn't going to be enough. And side note, it totally would have been enough. But I went and got a bagel from Edge, which was the best decision I could have made. I got an everything bagel with cream cheese, and I devoured the entire thing. And then showered, rolled out my feet, and went to sleep. Last year, I got Five Guys, and that was so good.
That sounds
so good.
like such a move.
I thought I would like. I always have my eyes are bigger than my stomach. Yeah, that's how you say
Yeah.
it. I always like get more. That's not true. Sometimes I do always. Actually, I almost always finish it. But this time, I got like 2 or 3 burgers and was convinced I could finish them. And I think I made it like in like 1.5 or 2. And then I was like, okay, I tap out. But yeah, I definitely Girls gotta eat.
Yo, you guys ever like you're going to bed after Thawne and you drink like 2 gallons of water and you're like, "Yep, I'm just going to pee myself in my sleep." Because they're like, "There's no way that I don't like have to pee," and then you're actually just so dehydrated and you don't realize it that you just sleep through the whole night and you wake up and you're still thirsty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
that's just your body recovering.
Right?
your cells are like, thank goodness.
They're like,
you
"Please,
finally
we need
developed
help, man." And I'm like,
I'm
"Okay,
like,
well,
I'm a
here we go."
big water drinker, but
Something about the BJC, it just sucks the water right out of
Yeah,
me. 'Cause
actually.
I drink the whole weekend and then I'm still thirsty.
Well, it's also in the winter, so it's like really dry out to begin with.
You know, this would be a really good time if we had a sponsor for us to plug Liquid IV. You know
Well-
how it's like drink 3 times, drink 1 glass of water, and you get 3 times the amount of hydration.
What? We should like do IVs at Thawne, guys.
Oh god.
Do
We
they
need
do
a
that
nurse.
for dancers? Can you just get an IV as a dancer?
I mean, I think if you like passed out, maybe they would put one.
Can I just be like, guys, put an IV line and I want to get an IV?
I think though, if I was like super tired or like really late in Thon weekend, I'd just start like trying to pull it out or something. I'd be like, no.
I'd be like,
please,
Morgan,
thank you."
please. You're like, come on, it's fun, guys.
you just see
I've
Morgan's
actually-
veins coming out of her arm.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I've actually never had an IV, so I don't really know what it feels like. But I,
I
feel
also
like I would try.
have
pulling
not
it out.
either. I don't know. What
I've had
IV
one.
is.
I was really young. I do know that I was like old enough to understand that like I'm not gonna play with it. So It was fine.
Obviously, you age down a few years when you're really tired.
That's
and
true, yeah.
You go from being like 20, 21 years old down to like 8.
And Morgan's
gonna
like,
say
ooh,
that-
cool, sticky thing. Ugh.
Yeah.
That is what they've told us in our DR meetings is when you're interacting with the dancers, don't not treat them like they're 6-year-olds, but treat them like they're 6-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like if they say like, "Oh wow, that's so cool," and it's just the stance, you better look
It-
at those.
it better
stance
be
and think
cool.
They're the coolest thing you've ever seen.
I remember our captain last year said, like, if your dancer thinks that there's chickens running around the floor and they want to count them, you better be the first one counting them with them. You better know how many chickens are on the floor.
1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4.
It's like, yeah, you just agree with them because at that point, I mean, I think being told like, no, like you actually are totally out of it and you have no idea what's going on would be significantly worse.
Yeah, you don't want
Yeah,
to
then you
frustrate
just
them.
get in your own head, and
Yeah.
Lord knows what would happen.
Yeah. So just count the chickens and pretend like everything's fine.
True.
It's okay. We're fine. We're doing fine.
Yeah.
All right.
That's funny. Oh my gosh. Did you guys have yellow shirt orientation?
We did, but it was a so all the captains were on a Zoom meeting,
And they
but then
Twitch streamed it.
they Twitch streamed it.
Yeah.
So there was like no interaction at all. It was so weird.
In case anyone doesn't know, yellow shirt orientation is like DR's dance relations big like committee wide like meeting, I guess.
Yeah, it's like all the captains and all their committees. It's like the first time that they all like really meet each other.
Yeah.
Because like everyone in my committee that's been on DR before has been talking about like yellow shirt orientation, about being this big thing that, oh, it's so exciting. And I'm like, all right, I just hopped on a Twitch stream.
Yeah.
Not that it was underwhelming, but it was a little underwhelming.
I really like that Thon is embracing Twitch. That makes me very happy.
I
As
was
a
gonna say,
big
adapt or
nerd,
die.
I love it.
Wait, guys. So I got home and I'm like away from my dog because she's on the other side and I'm like quarantined right now. And she's crying on the other side of the door. I can hear her. She's whimpering.
That's so sad.
That
Aw.
is terrible.
Go give her a hug.
I can't. I can't. I saw
Dogs
her in
can't
the
get COVID.
No, I saw her in the backyard before, but
Oh, okay, we're good. I'll be alright.
so she was so happy to see me. The happiest person to see me ever, my dog. Okay, sorry. Going back to
No, that is beautiful.
Morgan got home all of
That is
5
nice.
minutes before we started recording.
hey, I'm
Maybe
committed
10.
to the brand. Speaking of,
Speaking of the brand, what a segue! Oh my gosh! Who is she?
I noticed that you're both wearing the same hat.
No way.
Is it the heel hat that I see?
Greg,
Oh
one of
my
us has to
God.
change.
Oh my goodness, this is so embarrassing. Did you guys plan this? Did
Well,
you guys
I
not
mean,
tell me?
at least.
What?
I mean, at least Bob's is usually backwards. I'm more of a forward hat. Oh, that's awkward now, but
Yeah, I'm
more
always
of
a
a
backwards
Bobby,
hat
I've
guy.
never seen you with your hat on forward.
I know, isn't it weird?
What is going on?
that
I don't like it.
I honestly have to. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
we're going
Bob, you gotta-
backwards.
There
Greg,
can't be two of us.
is there something on the ground? Should you read it?
Oh,
Oh, Greg's
Yeah.
ad.
let
He dropped it. He dropped something on the ground other than his crown, King.
oh wow, wow.
Can you read it? Can you
That
tell
is
us what you
beautiful.
found?
Now, let me tell you folks about this here hat. It is a good-looking hat, a great-looking hat, a perfect hat, and that's what we're all looking for these days. For those of you watching on the YouTube, you can see it, but if you're on Spotify or Apple Music, let me paint you a word picture. This beautiful cotton hat is fully adjustable, fits all sized heads, and is just a perfect shade of blue with the black script writing, with that yellow L that doubles as the ribbon supporting pediatric cancer. This hat will give you that sense of uniqueness and individuality that you are looking for. My friend Bob over here, a good looking fella, just transcends into a pure deity with that beautiful backward baby blue hat that just sits on his head so nicely. And you can too. Best part is these hats support Heal, so we can continue to be for the kids. Just, I love this hat. I can't wait to just always wear it.
That was awesome. That was so good. All right, so yeah, well, if anyone's interested,
Now he sips his water bottle, and what does it have?
Wait, what's
A Heal sticker? Oh
True.
my goodness.
walking ambassador?
true.
A Heal ambassador. Well, now that we have the two hat kings on the podcast, guys, the compliments are just flying out of my mouth. I don't know what has overcome me.
I know what.
I'm not usually like this, but something in the New Jersey water is just really getting
Maybe
me.
it's all this delusion talk of late night Thon that maybe you're falling into the.
I'm just channeling it.
Yeah,
It's like a
I suddenly have
PTSD thing.
motions.
I can't wait till you're like, guys, there are chickens in the Zoom call, and I'm like, oh no, Morgan, we gotta end it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
5, 8, 12.
You know what? If there's chickens in the Zoom call, you guys better count them with me.
Oh, I would. You know I would.
Thank you.
But while we're
Make sure
on
you
the
get them
topic of
before
the
they
hat,
hatch.
we do have the Heel hat for sale. Yes, that is right. For sale. heard
Collector's
me.
edition at this point, honestly.
Yeah,
This
honestly,
is a collector's item.
it's vintage. It's beautiful. We have at least 15. I want to say there's more. I don't know. But if you're
While
interested,
supplies
It's
last.
one-time offer. Jump on it while you can.
it's truly legendary. If you're
Hats are flying off heads.
if you are interested, reach out to us on one of our social media platforms. They are in every description, whether you are watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify. They're still in there. I'm pretty sure I put them in there. So check it out.
And if not, I'm going to plug our Instagram right now. I just have to make sure that I'm going to say it right. I'm pretty sure it's just the Heel, HEAL cast.
I believe that is correct.
On Instagram, feel free to DM. If you DM, you're going to reach me. So
Goes to
there you
Morgan.
go.
And you can get a hat.
I'm just going to double check real quick. Yeah, the HEALcast. HEAL, heal as in heal.
100% of the proceeds goes to Thon through Heel. So it's kind of a win-win. You get a pretty awesome hat that has held up for the last 2 years for me. It shows zero signs of any wear and tear, and you get to make an impact. FTK. So,
The only thing aging is the one wearing it.
true.
And that hat, I have seen it on Robert Stofa Jr.'s head.
Robert Matthew Stoker.
Yeah,
Robert
you forgot the Matthew. Come on.
Well, fun fact, Bob and I share a middle name.
Wait, can we just go over something really quick? You call Bobby Bob. Where did this originate?
Oh no.
Oh, you were
yeah.
there for podcast episode 13. I think it was 13 with Lex and Liz, where Bob
Yeah.
talked about this.
I did explain it.
But I need to hear it again from you, Greg.
Oh, I'll tell you.
Give the
High school
listeners what they
volleyball.
want to hear.
Oh, we're just feeding them the goods.
Two
right now.
guys being dudes.
Just guys being dudes, dudes
Dudes
being
I
being
guys.
mean,
guys.
were you playing left, center, or right bench, or were you on the court?
Greg was on the court.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was on the JV court.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I
argue
should have
that
been on the
our best-
JV court.
I argue that our best times were on the varsity bench.
Mm.
There's many stories, but this is the heel cast, not the Greg and Bob reminisce about the glory days of high school cast.
That's coming out next week, guys. Be excited. Be ready.
Yeah. So,
Can I be
but
a
back
Yeah.
to the absolutely.
We'll have Morgan on as our first guest. She can just listen to us talk about it. She's like, yeah, this one time in New Jersey. And we're like, okay, Morgan, okay.
But the reason I call him Bob is it's just one of those when you're on a team and you're in the gym, everyone like has their name that everyone else calls them by. So it was just, hey, look, that's Bob. And that's like when I really got to know Bob. So I see him and boom, it's Bob.
Yeah. Our coach, Dan Follett. What a guy. We'll have him on here one day. No, we won't. He there's no reason. But yeah, he called me Bob. And it stuck.
Good.
Yeah.
Bob.
Huh?
Our coach.
Coach Bob? Your coach.
My
Okay.
coach, my coach Dan Follett. He's a dude. Love him.
Whenever I picture a volleyball coach, I just picture like calves of steel. I feel
Follett
like
didn't have that good of calves.
He didn't really.
Follett's assistant coach Nate Hayden
really
had
have-
some mangoes for calves.
Bro,
They were monsters.
he's a great man too.
Oh, of course, they both are.
Beautiful, beautiful men. But yeah, that's why I call him Bob.
There you go. So, as we are nearing the end, not the end yet, we have a few
Oh,
questions.
we better not be.
There's a
done yet.
Greg's expecting 2 questions.
We have a few questions and we know that you're going to answer them. So, you know what? Let's just see. Can you ask yourself the question?
Oh, okay. So you might be wondering. All right, Greg, I got a couple questions for you now that we're about to wrap it up. First question. Does it matter if I get the order of them
Oh,
wrong?
It's fine. Either way.
All right. First question. Who should we have on the pod next? To which I respond, first of all, Morgan, great question. Second of all, to answer your question, I'd say
Traditionally, this is Bobby's question, but I'll accept.
It's fine. We'll take it.
you switch. You can switch back and forth.
Yeah. We'll switch it up one day.
Bob will take the next question, but I'd say get Ethan on the pod.
We could have Ethan and Ryan Humes. They do live
They
together
live
now.
together.
That could be a tag team.
Yeah, get some alum or just hear from other people, different points of view, because everyone has a different Dawn story.
True.
Oh yeah.
And they're all
Number
important.
2, little out there, you two interview each other.
Okay.
So I had actually thought about that.
Do that though.
So here's the thing. I thought about it, and I think that Morgan and I will not be guests on the podcast until Morgan and I turn the podcast over to the new hosts. And I think that would be a great turnover where when Morgan and I are ready to graduate a million years from now, we're not going to talk about that. We will select 2 new people to run this, and it will keep going. But I think that'd be a great transition
that's a
episode
beautiful
where it's
thing.
just them and us, and we talk about the good old times on the pod.
Yeah.
That's gonna be its own separate interview, I think.
Yeah, just a whole send off.
I'll probably cry.
I'm saying the interview for who the new podcast host will be.
Oh,
That's a next year's problem.
Will be an interview, and
just have the fans react.
Yeah.
Oh,
Friends of the pod.
Yeah.
it'll be a secret.
So stay tuned. But yeah, that's a good point, Bobby. We'll hold off to get interviewed until the end. I wonder if there's any questions that people wonder about us because we don't always answer our own questions.
That's true.
If you do, DM us. I do.
Yeah, just if you have any burning questions, DM us. We'll ask them and then we'll answer them ourselves. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And now,
Do you
Bob,
have
I heard.
questions, Greg? Well, I will leave that till the end.
Yeah, Bob, I heard you had a question. Greg, what do you think will be in the Thon 2021 line dance?
That's
How did he know?
wonderful question.
Bob, that's a great question.
Thank you. I've been working on it all day.
So this is what I'm thinking. Since there's obviously been a lot going on this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're gonna throw Taco Bell closing in there and the vigil that we held.
Yep.
Obviously there's gonna be all the like COVID and election stuff, just because that's what's been going on. Probably gonna be a reference to everything being virtual. Killer Hornet bee things.
Yes.
People keep bringing that up, but I don't think it's going to be in there. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, good point. It was like one of those, like, it was relevant for
It was like a
2
blip
weeks, and then we realized, like, yeah, and then we're like, oh yeah, we are in the middle of a pandemic. That's everything.
Yeah.
Little smaller event, men's hockey winning the Big Ten.
It could.
That's a good one.
That could be on there. I think could be a reference to the new like high-rise apartments being put in, like the Here and the Standard.
High rise here. Or no, what is it?
High rise here, new dorms there.
Renovations everywhere.
That's a PG
That's-
Thon.
Webmail a goodbye. What's up,
Office 365. Get your pizza in a snap.
Snow days.
Back to back. All right, we're
Sorry,
old.
we're just reliving our glory
Wow.
days. AKA our freshman.
I would say I remember that line dance,
You
but
don't.
You don't have to.
I was sleep deprived the one time that I heard it.
True. Yeah, you did hear it once. We'll have to do like a
Also-
podcast special where Morgan and I do the line dance.
That would more be like a Twitch stream, but yeah.
We'll figure it out.
I
Also,
remember most of it.
we were talking about this earlier, but it's a really, I think one of the weirdest feelings is the first line dance after family hour.
Yeah.
Because
You're
It's
sobbing and you're like, yeah.
Hey, electrified.
like you just got your heart absolutely ripped out, and then it's Penn State from the top,
Let's get hype. Let's go.
Hype. Let's go.
and then you're just
Ignite.
like,
Electrify. That one, you can never catch me in the Thon 2020 line dance not losing my mind for the 2 words Ignite, Electrify.
That's true.
That's what got me through.
For me, it was the In the Air of the Night, Phil Collins drum solo into Pure Water.
Big drip.
'Cause they had it where like you finish hitting it and then you just turn and do some like stretching stuff or
Do
whatever.
some
but,
scoop.
oh,
Yeah.
it was electric.
You know what I have to add, and I just had to look up the name of it because this is how out of touch with reality I am. Oh my god, I forgot the name of it again. Among Us.
I was gonna say, Greg, why didn't you say
Among
Among Us?
Among Us is gonna be in there.
100%. It's gonna be something about like red looks sus, and then
I did
there's
hear
an imposter Among Us.
some breaking news. Gonna break some news on the pod.
Yeah.
This came up a couple pods ago. The new Cardi B Megan Thee Stallion song.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chance that it might make an appearance.
It will, guaranteed. There's no way it does not.
That's who?
I've heard from a
Reliable source.
certain reliable source I
Your
trust.
captain. Mm-hmm.
No, above the captain.
Oh, we're going way
Yeah.
up the ladder.
Are you
We're-
friends with Nick?
We're climbing the ladder.
Are you friends with Nick?
My roommate, or no, my captain is roommates with Nick.
You get the
For anyone who doesn't know, Nick is the DR director this year.
And I did hear that he said they might say from the top, but the only way that will get in is if there is an Among Us reference. So we might get both of those for the line dance this
from
year.
the top with a mop. All right. Anything else?
From the top with the mop. Time to clean the house, everyone. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
But I think that might be the only line from that song that we could have in
Wait,
the.
toilet paper shortage. That's
Yeah.
gonna be there.
Yeah, that's on our list.
Okay, you know what?
You know, there's been so much in 2020 that I completely forgot that was a thing.
Yeah.
I feel like it still sometimes is a thing. Like, yeah, it's kind of a mess.
Like,
Yeah.
there's so much that has happened this year.
There's just so much content. It's just
The line dance might be
narrowing
25
down.
minutes.
Xbox and PS5 also both came out.
Oh,
Like
that's
this
big.
last 2 days. So
The Wheel of Fortune. No, not Wheel
no,
of
Alex Trebek dying will 100. Alex Trebek Final Jeopardy.
Was he Wheel of Fortune? Yeah, he was.
He was.
Alex Trebek was not
was
Final. He was Jeopardy.
Jeopardy. Thank you. Yes.
That's
Man.
Pat like Zajac or something.
Zajac or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, because they referenced Trebek in the.
Trebek Final
Line dance
Jeopardy
last year.
in 20.
No, that was last
17?
year.
That wasn't last year.
Yes, it was.
Well, it's his real Final Jeopardy now.
Wow, too soon. Rest in peace.
Wow.
to
I
Alex
was
Trebek.
so upset. I didn't know he died. And someone was like, yeah, Alex Trebek's dead. And I was like, what? Everyone's dying and I'm never hearing about it. Chadwick Boseman died. Didn't hear about it for like 4 days. Ruth
I
Bader
know.
Ginsburg died. Didn't hear about it for like 4 days. And like I don't know what rock I'm living under because like these are big things. Like these are on the news. I just don't see it.
Do you go on social
Honestly,
media?
Yes, and I still miss it every time.
I feel like there could be a whole section of the line dance just dedicated to all the great individuals that we have lost in the last year.
Agreed.
Yeah.
In memorandum.
Yeah.
And they just
It'll be
list
like
them all.
the Oscars, just in the arms of an angel.
All right.
Thank you for gracing us with your vocal.
Yeah, it was
I
beautiful.
should have left that to Bob.
Okay,
no,
Greg,
no, no.
I have a question for you, and you wouldn't have known it was coming because you never heard this one before. Actually, I think we used it with Connor. But do you have anything that you wanted to say that you didn't get to say today?
Wait, I still have another question.
Okay, well, you can ask that last.
Well, it would make sense for Bob to ask his question first, because what if I say what he's going to say?
No, you go. You go.
No, because I feel like I like to end with Bobby's last question.
Oh,
Okay. You know what it is.
I know what it is.
Yeah, she knows.
I don't. I feel unprepared. As a loyal follower of the pod, I feel like I should have known.
It's a newer question, but you answer us. Is there anything that you felt like you were coming on here? You're like, I want the HEALcast to know this, and then we just didn't ask you.
I don't think there's anything that I haven't gone to say. I just want to mention how great these hats are. Get them while they last. It's just a beautiful hat. It transforms the whole outfit.
It does. It takes the outfit from just the normal everyday, like joggers and sweatshirts, sweatpants and sweatshirt type thing for someone, leggings and a sweatshirt, anything, shorts and a t-shirt, whatever it may be. And it takes it from that average shirt, average outfit that you wear to class every single day, you wear to Zoom, and then you put on the hat and it's like, boom.
I'm feeling a little called out because I've worn nothing but joggers and a sweatshirt for, I think, the last 3 weeks.
Well, there you go.
I'm a big jeans fan, and they match your jeans perfectly. So,
but this hat just transforms the outfit from the mundane to the supersonic.
Bobby, you're a jeans guy. Who likes wearing jeans?
I only wear jeans.
I'm not a jeans guy. I'm a
masochist.
jorts guy.
Jorts, yeah, you do have a lot of jorts.
I have one pair, but I just wear them all the time.
I feel like since the pandemic, like before I could wear jeans for like a day and be okay, but since the pandemic, I put on jeans and like 5 minutes later, I'm like, get these things off me. I can't wear them.
It's too much.
This is too much. I need my leggings and my sweatpants back. And it's just like the feeling of like sitting down and feeling like you aren't wearing leggings. Like, I could do anything in my leggings. I can't do anything in my jeans. That's all. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
All right, now that Morgan's TED Talk has ended, Greg, this question, you're going to be like, how did I not see it coming?
You're going to know as soon as we say it, you're going to be so mad at yourself.
What does thon mean to you?
I did know that was coming.
Yeah, you knew. Come on.
I knew. Oh, that's a deep one.
Yeah, it is.
This is just me stalling while I come up with a good response.
Oh, that's sad. Too soon.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Too soon. Back.
Sorry, Alex. I didn't mean it.
But I think, like, thon is just being a part of something bigger than yourself. And it's one of those, what we were talking about earlier is like when Natalie started crying because I was crying so much. I think the thing that got me the most was seeing all the kids that didn't make it, just seeing how old they were and just realizing that life is not fair. And it's just like the point that I'm at in my life, people like they didn't even get to experience anything like that. And even the ones that are still fighting, just the fact that they have to go through all that stuff at such a young age. When I was that age, I was just worried about like playing t-ball. So it's just being a part of something like that and realizing how lucky we are to not have to go through that, and just being able to support them through everything they're doing.
Great answer.
Thank you, Greg.
That was awesome. All right. Anything else? Your last hour of fame is
Yeah,
about to
thank
end. So, any last words?
Thank you, Bob
Thank
and
you.
Morgan, for such a great hour or however long this was. I have
Right now we are
no
at
idea how long it
55
was,
minutes, so we're doing pretty good.
Wow.
but it was a great, great conversation.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you for
Oh,
coming on.
absolutely.
Morgan, you got anything to say?
I have nothing to say except for thank you for joining us. Thank you for telling us so much about your Heel hat and your water bottle, for being Heel's first ever brand ambassador. And with that, Bobby,
Yeah, so thank you not only to Greg, but to all of our listeners for being here. Really appreciate your support. Remember, reach out to us on our socials. It'll be in the description below, I think, on both YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcast and anywhere else you might be listening. If you want a hat,
and
reach
not
out.
so the podcast.
Yeah, it's hey, the hats are clean.
Oh,
They're vintage, beautiful.
they're
But
nice.
yeah, until next time, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep on dancing.
Health is wealth.